Little tidbits for you to know is when you resize the screen, it will remember that size when you open it again, but it actually has a numbering system. So if you have 4 jobs open, it'll remember all 4 differently, but it'll open them up in that order each time, the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth.
Sorry, can you say that again? It remembers what?
The screen size and position when you close them, but it actually remembers multiple of them. So if you have 4 of them open, it has 4 different settings, but every time you open the same screen, it starts at the first one in the list.
Okay. So this is the type of thing you start to see is things being cut off. So equipment type there, I know, bring it back. The job often seems to, or account seems to be strange.
Sizes. Also, depending on how you resize, okay, here's a little tip for you. Go back to that job screen. How you resize the screen makes a difference. So if you drag it to the right, do that.
Drag the right-hand edge?
Yeah. Make it a lot bigger. Okay.
Peter's come back. This is his number 1, right?
It does one thing. If you drag it vertically, it does a different thing. So sometimes you need to find that balance of vertical and horizontal scrolling. In other words, if you have I'll rephrase that. If you have the aspect ratio of the form wrong, you're going to get unexpected results with the fonts and stuff. But if you try to resize it to the same aspect ratio as the original form, then it should look okay.
Why do you, I mean, even that complication, I'm not an attack on that. Why is it so complicated to render? Is it a limitation of Visual Fox?
No, I do it in code myself. Fox doesn't have the capability of doing this. I coded this myself. It's one of the revolutionary things I did with TSM was screen resizing. I invented this before anyone invented in Fox form resizing.
Right. Look at
So the original aspect ratio, is there a way to get back to that?
Only through resetting user options. Well, that looks pretty good. Go to Utilities User Options, please. I'm giving you options that modify the way this thing functions that may be useful. Cancel the Go to untick resize text when resizing forms.
And what's the option under that? Disable automatic green resizing.
It'll go back always to the default size every time you open it. Tick on that and then tick on the one below it as well.
This one?
Yep, that's the one. Now go and save that. Exit there, close the form and reopen. That's the original size. Now resize that somewhere.
So just make that a little bit bigger?
Yeah, whatever. Resize it to any way you want. So notice how it hasn't done the fonts this time. Now, that's a bit ridiculous full screen. But when you resize it to less than the full screen, often that looks a lot better. Make it not full screen. Make it not full screen. Okay, but just make it like a half screen bigger.
Get about the same ratio. Yeah, that looks good.
So that's okay. From a sales demo, that's a lot cleaner.
Now go to the job center. We're going to look at the grids now. So resize that with the grids. See that there? It's not resizing the fonts and the grid sizes now. It's just making the form bigger. See more rows.
Right.
So
one of the things that's different from a Windows Microsoft interpretation, which is what we're all accustomed to using, is if you went like that, well, try and do it. If I went like that in Microsoft, I would lose the department. Or put it another way, if I can see department sticking up there, I tend to assume if I drag that to the right, it will become visible.
It does.
It does now, yeah, okay, because that font resize is turned off, I guess.
Yes. But with the resizing, it would recalculate all the columns to give you the same view but narrow.
Yeah.
So maybe this view is nicer for you. Or you can try something else. You can go and turn back on the font resizing, but not the grid resizing.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you go back to that and do that, yes, that one. Click on that. Save that. And try opening the forms up again. So this one will look just the same. Not as this, as what it was before. But if you go to the Job Center now, so resize that. So the fonts around it, fields are resized.
But the fonts aren't resizing in that, are they?
No, the grids don't get font, but everything else does resize.
The fonts aren't resizing.
Yeah, yes, they are. Not the grid. You've disabled grid resize.
That's right. It looks cleaner though.
The fonts in the grid are a different thing, is what you're saying.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, the other setting.
Okay.
Okay. Know your screens as well. Know those aspect ratios.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, some screens are not well behaved when they're made larger and smaller.
No, but there are often times where you want to make this long and skinny. Especially
That's
if you've
right.
got
Yeah,
like
2 or 3.
a grid or something, which is the main thing. You don't want to hide other forms. You just make it long and skinny. You get to see more rows in the grid.
Yeah.
Isn't it? We'd move those around a bit. No, maybe not.
Yes, because you have a contract job.
That's right. Gantt chart, what do we use it for? Project planning performance.
You can.
So hopefully that makes the screens not perfect like Microsoft Word, but maybe a little bit easier to manage than what we had